Okay, we are going to be heading to Route 66, some ghost towns here pretty soon, but we wanted to stop here first on the way. We're in the community of Cave Spring, Missouri, which back in the mid-late 1800s or something like that, it was said to be bigger than Springfield, which is really funny because I don't even know. It's not even like an established, I don't think, anything anymore.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a handful of houses.
Yeah, so I don't even know if there's an actual technical population. But this church was established in 1839, and this is supposed to be one of the nation's oldest Presbyterian churches. From what I read, it said that it was, first floor was a school, second floor was the church, which posed a problem when there would be funerals, because there is a cemetery back here that belongs with this church. But I guess they didn't really do the funerals in the church because it was too much to carry the caskets up the stairs. I don't know if the outhouse is original. I mean, it's obviously been redone if it's original, because it's got like tin siding on it. It was actually in operation, at least as a church. I don't know about the school part of it, but at least as a church, it was in operation until 1968. And then other than that, it's just been kind of, I guess, sitting sort of vacant. I think the community uses it for special events and stuff maybe. And they keep the upkeep on it and things. But I mean, it even has, that's a bell tower. That's pretty sweet.
Somebody's little house back there. Yeah.
A lot of grasshoppers and whatever those are. Ew. Everywhere.
There's some older ones up there.
Oh, yeah.
'81.
A lot of willies in here. Must have been a town or a,
Yeah, they're all from there.
town family. I don't know. Foster son of. I've never seen that on a tombstone before. 13 years. '82, 1875. 68 years old, 72 years old.
Kind of look like the oldest ones in here. Yeah, there may some actually back there. Some older ones.
Yeah, there's quite a few old ones. But
Oh, yeah.
It's weird because they're like Might hold in between some more modern ones too.
Died 1861. Yeah.
That's about the oldest.
Yeah, I had one over there. It was 1861.
Oh.
Yeah, some of these are laying down. Okay, these are the same. That's except for that one says first lieutenant. That one says what? CO. Same. Never seen that before.
Odd.
How is it? McCallahan?
Kilhannon.
Well, here's another one, but this is...
Oh, that one's different.
Yeah, this is George. Huh.
That's strange.
And there's a big one. Same name. It's sun's shadow and you can't see it on screen.
Two tombstones almost identical.
Yeah, I don't know if you can...
In the same spot.
There. Well, I did notice on the back side of these, it says buried at McMaster Cemetery, Polk County. So do you think this is a... What do you call those? This more of a memorial. You know, kind of like the Robert Johnson thing.
Yeah, well, that's fine, but why is there two?
I don't know. That one says it too. I don't know where McMaster Cemetery.
I don't know. I don't know, but we're in Greene County. I don't know where Polk County is.
We just come out of
here.
Polk County.
Oh, okay, so it's north of here.
Yep. All right, so we was kind of heading out of here, and then we kind of seen these, and that's kind of interesting. There's nothing on the back side of them. And then you have Aunt Phoebe and Uncle Blank.
But is his name really Blank, or did they forget his name? You know, Uncle Blank.
Yeah. I don't know. They could have just put a line.
Odd. Do a pause and read.
Yeah.
This is our first stop on Route 66. We are just east of Plano. The highway is now labeled as Highway 266, but they do still have little markers that say it's Historic Route 66 Scenic Byway or something like that. So this place... Oh, did you turn it on?
Well, go ahead.
This place was actually set up as a little place to stop along the way, Route 66, back in its heyday, to rent a little cabin, which you see those are back there. I'm not sure that it's not still slightly operational.
Kind of looks like it.
Well, I guess depending what you read. This chapel, which is on the old Route 66, Route 66 is right there. The sign says it was established in 1852. Now, what I read said 1870s, but I don't know. I'm assuming the sign would be the most correct. It burned in 1883 and was rebuilt which I am guessing is why it says 1887, but I don't know. So maybe it burned in 87 and they rebuilt. I don't know. Just can't seem to get a good history sometimes from the internet. So I would imagine the dates on the signs are probably closer to correct. But it's a neat little church, and it's old, and we're not going to go down and check out the whole cemetery because it looks like it goes all the way back over in there, and we don't have time for all of that. But I am going to take some pictures. Oh, and interestingly enough, the church was built for around $2,000, which back then would have been a whole lot of money. This is a private residence at the moment, but it used to be, we believe, the tidal flying a filling station back when Plano was not quite the ghost town that it is now. We're actually not quite into Plano yet. This stuff is on the edge of the town. This over here is said to be a general store built in 1902. And some stories say that they thought that it was a casket company or a mortuary, but it's said that's incorrect, and that was actually across the road. Now, I don't know if they mean across the road on 66 or across this little highway right here. But that is what is left of the general store, and I'm gonna walk across over here and try to show you inside of it a little bit. Now, we're not gonna walk in there because I don't want this lady that just pulled into her private residence over there that I took a picture of and showed you. I don't really like doing that, but it is an old building and it's on Route 66 and I can't help it, and I'm sure she's probably used to it. So as you can see, it's kind of a jungle in there now. That is pretty sweet, though, that any of it still stands. Quite the testament to how they built buildings back then, huh? Very cool. We're in Halltown now, right? Yes. Okay, I don't know what this one is. I have a history of Halltown, of certain buildings, but honestly I don't know what buildings are what. Anyway, so I was wrong about Plano, and those couple of buildings that we saw were actually all there really was for Plano. So that was that. And then there's supposed to be several here in Halltown. This looks obviously like an old gas station, but I don't think it's the one that was on my list. Well, we're gonna roll on down here and see what these other buildings are. This building dates back to 1907 is what I found, and was possibly a general store. And then the white section next to it was actually supposed to be a livery stable built in 1906. Now that's what I read. I don't know whether that is actually true, and we are still here in Halltown. That has been completely redone, but used to be a filling station like many moons ago. There's some old buildings up in there, and I'm not for sure what is what. There was supposed to be like what used to be an old motel but is now apartments. I'm kind of thinking that's what's on that side. And then on the other side possibly was like old cafe, and this is really kind of far from being a ghost town. It looks to me like there are quite a few residents in Halltown. This is Paris Springs Junction. This building over here is now private residence, and in the 40s it was a grocery store, I guess, or general store. Over here we have this gentleman redid all this stuff, and there's like an original St. Clair Sinclair gas station, and he's just really done all this up very cool Route 66 style. These things were all established like in the 1930s and up, and obviously is no longer like technically in operation. This is like a cool little roadside attraction. He even has his own little Route 66 roadside attraction sign, which is really awesome. Now how cool is that? And you gotta get the Route 66 gotta have that in your video. Can't miss out on that. So we were told we could come in and look around, take pictures, etc., etc., etc. And here we are, and look at all of this. So cool up close. I love all the old cars. Love the old gas station. It's just so sweet.
I didn't know Sinclair had credit cards.
Huh. Interesting. Really neat. So much fun stuff to look at. Pretty popular place, actually. And quite a few people pulled in here.
Yep.
A nice old bridge here on old Route 66. Boy, you can sure tell this is the old part of the highway, not having been redone probably in quite some time. Hope none of this is poison ivy. That's a really neat old bridge, isn't it? I'm gonna have to get some pictures of that. This bridge on Route 66 leads into Spencer, Missouri. Wanted to stop and get some pictures of this bridge. It's pretty popular for getting pictures, and probably gonna get the solstice coming through the bridge somewhere, and I just fell in a big hole. Jesse's probably laughing at me. I want to get some pictures of this bridge. Well, this is basically what is left of Spencer, Missouri. Whoops, there, it's just zoomed out here. So the service, okay, so in 1926, man purchased this property knowing that Route 66 was going to be put in, and felt like that it was a great business opportunity, and it was. He built the service station in 1926, and then in 1927 he added a general store, and then in 28 he joined the barbershop and the cafe restaurant. He joined those two buildings with the others and made one long stretch of a place to stop on Route 66. And this stayed in operation until 1961, when I-44 came in and bypassed the little town of Spencer. And there was actually a post office in Spencer until 1907, I think I said, or something like that. So Spencer has been gone for a while. There's some private residence over there, and there's a private residence behind this, and I believe that may be the person who owns all of this. But it is literally a hop, skip, and jump from the bridge. We really hope you enjoyed this little trek onto Route 66. We haven't done this before, even though we live here in Missouri. We had never done this before, so it was really fun to get out and just travel along this section of Route 66, which is just west of Springfield, and it is east of Joplin. It is that little section. All these little towns are basically one right after the other on old Route 66.